Okay, I am going to do a quick tutorial here. And also, let me say this real quick. If you're an Elements user and you're pretty proficient with Elements, I would love for someone to do a tutorial on the new gradient skies because I feel like they're easier to use in Photoshop, so they obviously will be in Elements. And I did purchase Elements, even though I've never used it, to do my action testing. And um, but I'm just not that good at it, so I feel like I'll just confuse people while I'm fumbling around in there. So, anyways, if anybody feels the need or has an opportunity to do that, I would love that. I was going to do a quick tutorial. I think it's a lot like Photoshop. I just don't know where everything is placed and all that kind of stuff. I'm not sure how this is going to work. This is more of a sunset sky, but I shot this wedding a couple weeks ago and I need to finish editing it. And I only took a few wide shots because there were so many people on the beach. By the end of the ceremony, they had cleared out a little bit, so I kept some of these later ones. But this one I kind of shot from a perspective that I was down a little bit. So I think I can probably clone the rest of those people out. So anyways, now if I wanted to go less bold, I could very easily put a gradient sky in this picture. That wouldn't be an issue at all. So I probably don't even really need to do this for the gradient skies, but I'm just so used to doing this in the way that I do them that I'm just going to do it real quick. So anyways, I'm just using the quick selection brush. And usually it will grab the edges. This is the refine edge tool that I've talked about a couple of times in there when someone has asked me. There's no way I'm getting this out. The refine edge tool will help you kind of get a better selection. So let me get that in there real quick. I don't care necessarily so much about the bamboo because that won't show, I don't think. And I'll probably brush. I'm going to brush a lot of this off the bottom, regardless of the one that I use. I don't know why it's not grabbing that. So, anyways, I'm going to go in there and feather. Okay, so now that I have this on this layer here, I can kind of look. I might want to take this guy's head out. It probably wouldn't be that big of a deal, but I'll just do it. So anyways, let's see. Let me just see what this would look like if I decided to use this one. I tried to put a little bit more pink into the image because I knew I was going to try to use a sky that has more pink in it. So I'm going to hit clipping mask right here. So that's where you would do the clipping mask. So on something like this, what I might do is just lower the opacity to bring some of the blue back in. And then I would grab a mask and a black brush. It's at 30. I'll probably go down to 20 and kind of take some of this off the bottom. Mainly those bottom clouds right there because I feel like, in fact, I'll go up to 50 on that because I felt like those were really sunsetty. And clearly this was too early to be shooting. So anyways, and you can kind of see I brushed some back off of that. I might brush that back on because I really liked the color that it brought to this picture. It was just a weird colored day, if that makes any sense. You know, some days, even when it's clear and there's no clouds, it's still like a pretty color. It just wasn't that day. And here's another thing. If you're working with a sky that's a different tone, you can go and clip on here and make it a little bit more blue, a little less pink, if you wanted to. So there's that. Let me grab like one of the gradient skies that's should be, I guess I could just do it like this. One that would be probably more conducive to this one. Let's try the blue sunset fade here. If I just wanted to enhance, we'll try two of them. If I just wanted to enhance the skies that I already have. So let me just turn this off. I don't know if I'll even need my selection with these because they're I guess I could do it on this one. So I would turn this back on, yeah, and just clip it. So I'll probably just bring it up like this. I don't know if I would put this one. No, this one definitely doesn't work on multiply. It's terrible on screen. The overlay mode doesn't look bad, huh? I kind of like that. Plus it lets the sun shine through over here. So that's, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just green and I can't take too much of it out or I'll turn the whole thing magenta. But that one works really well. So let's just say, and you can layer these guys too. So let's just say I wanted to add that. I can actually clip this here too. And I think on this one, we would probably do an overlay. Or we could do it normal. We could do it normal too. And just bring it kind of down a little bit. Or just leave it up at the top. I'm not digging that one. I thought that would be super good on this one. It just wasn't. But that just kind of brightens up the top of it. So, there we go. Let's see, I was going to show you. This one's not clipped anymore for some reason. So anyways, there you go. And on something like this, after I finished editing it, let's just say this is what I was going to do. I'll just do a little edit. This is, I probably wouldn't even mess with this guy that much because I don't need a bunch of that. So this is the Kansas Collection, Arise and Shine Warm Spotlight. What I would probably do is something like this. Put that warm spice over the whole thing, and I think that will kind of bring it in a little bit and kind of make it match a little bit more. Adding the rose gold almost puts too much magenta in there. But anyways, that's just how you can kind of play with it. You could maybe do, where's golden? Guys, there we go. You could probably do that one instead, and that would probably take some of that pink out that we were looking at too. So you can do all kinds of things to kind of tone your image up just a little bit. You could also go down here to the fall collection and get your paint on. I know the fall collection doesn't seem like it'd be great for beach, but I use this warm fall glow for like a lot of beach stuff now. But you see how you can just add that paint on gold in there, and it changes it to almost probably eliminate the need for these two and even that one. So it's kind of bringing it back to what the day sort of looked like there. You could actually put a little bit on them just to give them a little bit of color. But then I would clone out all these people and all that. So anyways, that is probably what I would do with that. I might even bring some of these highlights back. Let's see if that helps. It does help a little bit. It was a very bright day. So anyways, now I just feel like I'm rambling. So there you ladies go. I was going to do another quick tutorial for you guys on a session I was working on. As you can see, it was ugly, super ugly. Let me see if I have. Alright, so here's the before out of Lightroom. It was terrible. So anyways, oops. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my quick selection tool. I want to go over this because I'm going to use one that has orange on the bottom, so it would signify that there was some light, and I want that on there. So I'm going to feather at like 15 because I think that works much better with this. Oops. And then I'm going to hit Command J and put on a new layer. So there's that. You see how fuzzy my selection is? And then I'm going to drag over Purple Parfait Gradient. And then I'm going to hit Command. You can right click and hit Create Clipping Mask if you want to. I'm going to bring this down, multiply, and then I'll probably bring it down just a little bit. The other thing I'm going to do, I don't know, I might just do this. Okay, that's perfect. So this is Warmth from the fall collection. What I'll probably do is keep that on her, edit the whole thing, and then I'll probably put this Warm Spice matte over the whole thing. So that way, we'll see though. I haven't decided on that yet. So anyways, that's probably how I will take care of that. I'm happy with the way the sky looks. I wish that let's see, let's do this real quick. Let's hit Command J and duplicate that. And bring it down over her and all of that. Because I feel like, I wonder if we brought it. Let me look at some real quick. There we go. If I take it below the sky, it's going to take it off all of my stuff. Now, I don't really want this. I'm going to invert this so I can paint on where I want it. I'm going to grab a white brush. It's on 30% opacity. I'm going to brush some of this on the beach here, around her. I'm sure most of you know this, but you can use your bracket keys to make your brush bigger or smaller while you're working. I'm going to put a little bit on the sand because obviously if the sky had this in it, then it would be like that. The other thing I might do, is maybe paint on some gold. I haven't edited this one, so you're watching me as I'm doing it. You know, like kind of behind her, like there's sun behind her, since, you know, this kind of looks, it's very subtle, but you have to pay attention to your light. See, like that. And then maybe even put some down here, because you just want it to look, if it looks warm over here, then you want it to look warm everywhere. So anyways, I just wanted to show you guys that one, and you can go back in here if you want like more purple in it. Oops. You can bring it down some like that, or you can drag it back up, whatever you want to do with that. So anyways, that's just a little before and after that I will show you. So there you go. Alright, let me show you a little bit different of a tutorial. This is from that same wedding. This was like a 2-hour beach wedding. I did it on Periscope. If you're on Periscope, you can follow me at Kansas Pits. But I did some of it on Periscope because when I showed up, I was just like appalled at how the planner set everything up in the middle of everybody. We've got plenty of beaches around here that are not completely full of people, you know, and it kind of ruins their private moment. So I was kind of ticked off about that. Just, I feel like if you pay for a service, you should, you know, get a good service. So anyways, I'm trying to make these special to her because the one thing she was most excited about was the photography above anything else. So I'm really trying to make these special for her. So I was going to show you, you can see how bright it was. So I was going to try to do something just dramatic with these pictures until the sun got down a little bit more. So let me show you something you can do here with kind of images that are not really a silhouette, but they have some flair in them. So this is the rose gold out of the new gradients, guys. So I'm gonna do two things with this sky actually. The first thing I'm gonna do is put it on multiply and bring it down, and then I'm gonna drag it over again and put it on probably lighten, something like that. I'm really liking that. So I'm going to put this in here so I can turn it off and on and show you. But that's just going to give them just a really pretty, just sort of just a different look. You know, it makes it look like it was kind of almost a sunset sort of day, and really pretty. So I do like that a lot. So I would just edit that from there with probably a rise and shine. And I might even add a little bit more matte on it. Or I might edit from here down and then apply this lighten layer over the top of it to give it a whole matte look. Let's see. Let me try something else. Let me try this one again. Let's do this. Somebody had posted a picture in there of a senior boy, and it was a silhouette, or it was supposed to be a silhouette. I could change this to a silhouette right here, and let's try it. Let's see what we can do with this on here. So here's this. Possibly it's going to come up in Photoshop for us. Apparently my computer's working overtime. What I might even do here is chop it off right there. Changes the whole look. Oops. But if I'm going to do that, I want to keep sort of my same crop. So let me do this right here. And then I would open... Anyway, so the Periscope thing is really cool. If you're on there, it's just a really cool tool. I'm actually going to be on Blossom's Guides today, but it's going to be a really fun time. So this one already has the sun in it, so I'm just going to flip it. Very easy to do. I do need to drag it because you can see where the sun is on the other one, since I did it the way that I did it. But I mean, that changes. So we have this one here that we did with a lighter edit, and then we have this one that we did. And I could also, let me close that. I could probably bring rose gold in over here as well and get a nice, just a little bit different of a look here. I don't know. What did I put that on? Multiply? But you can see, that's the good thing about it. You can just kind of scroll through and see. Like, I like the screen. I love it on lighten on this one, I think. But see, you get a totally different look there. And so I'll probably put both of those in our gallery since I just did them for you guys. In fact, let me go ahead. I'm going to, I like this one exactly how it is. I'm going to merge those. I'm just going to delete that one. And so, and again, we're just layering on these guys. So I'm going to do these. These are from the Kansas collection here. What I might do from the fall collection is grab that golden light again. I kid you not. I use it all the time for beach stuff now. Oops. I can't really tell if oh, I know. Well, I'm not doing anything. Just to kind of put a little bit more gold in there. And also it's good. So the garnet and the crimson show up like pink and red sometimes. So if you wanted to add a little bit of color in there like that, you would, oops. You're not really worried about their skin because this is a silhouette. But something like that's really pretty. And so then I would drag this over the top and put it on lighten and then reduce the opacity. Pretty good. Basically, I just want to bring some of that gold in there. I like it both ways though. But I do like adding more of a sun than was in the original. So the original is, oops. So the original is here, and here's the edit. So, and it was very easy. If I wasn't talking to you, I could have done that in a minute and 10 seconds or something. So anyways, those are just two that I thought I would show you from the new Gradient Skies. I know most of you have seen them, but I'll show you where they are. If not, they're the first thing in the store right here. And then the fall collection that I used is here for Photoshop. If you also want the presets, they're in here. And then I also have it for Elements. So there you go. Hey guys, this is Kansas from Kansas Pitts Photography and Design. I am going to start doing some tutorials for the Gradient Skies, and I wanted to show you guys a little trick here. So I took this picture. I love this picture. This was in 2014. I just wish it wasn't so washed out. The light is really pretty behind him. I wish I could have gotten some of that orange. So the first guy I plugged in, let me see which one this was. I'm not used to these just yet. Is the, I don't think it's rose gold. I think it was the pink, I think it was the purple parfait gradient or the sunset gradient. I wasn't really thrilled with that because I'm thinking it just needs to be orange. So let me show you a little trick here. I'm going to drag, this one is the orange cream gradient. I can tell you what it was. It was a purple parfait gradient. But I'm going to drag this one over here. And see, I'd already masked what I wanted to, so I'm going to hold down my Alt key. I'm going to drag this up here and drop it. And that's going to create this mask here. I'm going to do this one at multiply, which is what I have this one at. I have this one at multiply. So I have two looks there, and I kind of got them at the same time. On this one I could probably, and you can change your mask after you do this, I could probably paint back in some of the orange along the bottom if I wanted to on this one. I probably could have gone all the way down here with it if I wanted to. Actually it did, because on the purple one I didn't have it all the way down. So anyways, I just want to show you guys that little trick because I think it's super cool. That way you can kind of try out different gradients if you want to. And here's the thing, if you want to darken this for some reason, you can just go up here and hit clipping mask, and then you can just affect your sky. So if you want to lighten it, darken it, whatever you want to do, you can do a lot of that kind of stuff with levels. If you want to add a little bit of red to it. Oh, I guess it doesn't have enough red in there to add. But yeah, if you wanted to do something like that. So anyways, I'll show you that one. Let me show you this one real quick while I have you here. Okay, so here's the Ritchie family. I was doing this one a while ago too. And I think I was using Twilight. Let me look. Okay, so here's the Twilight gradient, and you're thinking, what would you do with these two? There's a couple of different things. You could do this on overlay or soft light and just reduce the opacity and give yourself a nice little light leak in there. You can obviously mask it off of them if you want to, just a little bit. I'm at 40%. There we go. The other thing you can do is you could make it into a, I'm going to delete this mask. Oops. You can make this into a matte finish. And you wouldn't think this would turn into this, but you just saw it. So anyways, there's a bunch of different stuff that you can do with these aside from just having them as skies. So I just wanted to give you guys a couple of the extra information, and I'll show you, I'm trying to get everything ready for it. I'll show you right now where you can buy them if you haven't. They're right here. So you just go to bigcartel.com or kansaspits.bigcartel.com, go to products. It should be the very first one right here. And if you're in the Sky group, for the first 24 hours before I'm releasing these to the public, there is a special coupon code. Today's September 30th, so if you're watching this after that, this is not applicable. So there you go, ladies.